in the company of our commentary team as we say good evening to Terry O'Connor at the Dave Woods.
Thank you, Brian. Well, a weekend of celebrations and nostalgia starts here. Two of Super League's originals going head-to-head. 30 years since they did it for the very first time in what was then a brand new era. Some of us remember it very, very well in the here and now. Castleford desperate for a bounce back after getting walloped by Warrington last week, and Bradford in early possession and with an early penalty, only just back in the top flight. But it's a case of carry on with some of their eye-catching form, Terry.
Yeah, well, Bradford have been one of the standouts, and they've been really good. The two games that they lost, they could have won, and this is not the start that Ryan Carr would have been after, giving a penalty away in the first set of 6. Yeah, get off the line, try and stop them, but I don't know, you can't give penalties and piggybacks like that up the field.
Debut for them, of course, Castleford. Tom Forber in at the hooker's position, on loan from Wigan this week. Debut for Bradford as well. Phoenix Steinway starting the night on the bench, having started the week in Australia. He only landed in this country on Monday. Interesting to see how he goes on when he gets on. But Bradford making very decent progress in this, their second set following that penalty inside this Castleford half. Ackers bends his back and looks left, and they're just trying to find a way through with Ruan, who's dragged to the ground, but they've still got tackles to go. Ackers with a run again. Here's Mellor, who's been outstanding this year, and Ruan again will find his team just 6 meters away, strides away from where they want to be in these early stages. The kick is challenging. It is taken by Masters. I think he's picked the pockets in midair, and he will score the try in the opening 2 minutes, and Castleford have yet to lay hand on ball.
Well, it all comes off the back of that penalty. They find themselves down in trouble, don't they? And Easton Masters, well, he makes things happen, doesn't he? He's one of the standouts for Bradford. Kurt Haggerty knew exactly what he was getting when he signed him. And it's a good kick, isn't it, over to the corner, puts pressure on Castleford. They go up for the ball, all of a sudden they think they've got hold of the ball, and Easton Masters, well, he just does a decent job, doesn't he, to get hold of the ball from Darnell McIntosh and go over it. Or was it Babalangi? It's a big start for Bradford. Look at that. In the first 2 minutes, they've scored a try. They are absolutely on fire this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been outstanding this year, Easton Masters, as well, hasn't he? But that is his first try in Bradford colours, and worryingly for Castleford, it has taken 2 minutes for Bradford to score this week. It took 2 minutes for UNO to score for Warrington last week. So that is a bit of a habit they need to get out of, and a shock to their system in these early stages. I think we're looking at this still in the background before it's absolutely confirmed.
Try confirm, shot clock on.
But it is now confirmed, and Luke Hurley will be given the chance to take the kick for goal here in just a moment's time. In fact, he tees the ball up. Interesting choice of goal kicker here with Milnes on the field, but Hurley's going to take the kick. And 4-0 in the early stages. What is the chat amongst those Castleford players in that in-goal area, Terry?
Well, Dave, you've just got to forget what's happened now. You can't do anything about it. If this 4 turns into 6, you've just got to get back up here, start again with the kick-off, defend well, really get on the front foot, don't sit back. As Luke Hurley just knocks that over, you just got to get into them, be disciplined. That's the big, big call. Like Ryan Carr said last week, described that loss as like the biggest loss in his career. That says it all, doesn't it, what happened at Warrington? But this is what they'll do to you. They've got a really good kicking game. They go over to Castleford's left-hand side. It's a good play, isn't it, from Masters, and goes over right in front of the fans.
Well, it is absolutely the last thing the Tigers required, because they want their crowd behind them, and there's already a sound of discontent coming off the terraces. As Bradford, Castleford still yet to touch the ball here. Castleford having to defend as Bradford bring it forward again.
But again, Dave, even that tackle one, that's too quick for them. They're already up to near the 40 mark, and they've got a penalty again.
And another penalty. Oh, my goodness.
Look, you win tackle 1, it's hard to control tackle 2. You can see that they're all over them, trying to control them. And Leon Room with some urgency to try and fight and play that ball quickly.
Ryan Milnes sticks it out of play, and it means that Bradford's next set will start. The lines tell us 30 metres away from that Castleford line, so plenty of opportunity here. Sutton has been doing some big minutes this year, hasn't he? Ryan Sutton since his return to the Super League. There's Akins with a dummy. There was Wonga Blake on the outside, but Akins couldn't get the ball away. But Bradford still an attacking opportunity. Mellor, it's swung out again to Masters.
Good tackle, great tackle from Gary.
Good read from Valamai, who was one of those who did have a good game against Warrington last week. Akins, again pushing close, but a couple of plays to go. Ackers and now Mellor, who stands in that little gap and not sure what he's going to do, but then a spring across to that left-hand side. Ackers again. Look, Hurley fancies a kick his way, but it goes the other way, and a ball that's spilt in the end, and Castleford will breathe a big sigh of relief here, because they do get it back again.
Yeah, look, I think Joe Westerman was a big miss last week, and he's got to lend all his experience. See the ball just loosely goes on the floor. They were screaming for it over on the right-hand side then. I think the big thing, don't try and be a hero when you're defending your line, trying to solve problems. You're behind on the scoreboard. Don't shoot the line unless you're going to do what Gary did. And now you can see another penalty from James Vella.
Yeah, Cas get a penalty, a little bit of celebration amongst them as well. Semi Valamai, he made his debut last week, only his second game. Kick to touch is off the boot of Tom Weaver. So Cas, for the first time, have play the ball inside their opponent's half here and looking to build as quickly as possible. Hurst, another of their recent arrivals. Originally unknown for a winger, but now a permanent signing. Cas fans trying to find their voice. It's Forber, the debutant, at dummy half. Here's Weaver again, and straightened off by Atoni. Taking a couple of Bradford defenders, a little bit of extra task to bring him to a complete full stop, and out of dummy half goes Forber with that threat, with that run. Well, they now have a couple of plays. Weaver and support here, and swinging it wide, and they are going to find a way through Jason Gary. Well, they wanted an instant response. They've got an instant response.
Well, you know, last time I was here, it was for the Wigan game, and Jason Gary was absolutely on fire in that game. He's been great. He looks a lot more powerful this year. His carries are so good, and he's obviously still got the speed. And look at that setup shape from them. Again, you know that, look, you get the ball out wide, Mapapalangi, well, he just gets the ball to Jason Gary, gives him. He knows he's got the speed to get over in the corner. You know, this will just give the Cas fans some hope, won't it? They don't want to see him defend. They know that they've got tries in them. If they get up this end of the field, they'll certainly cause some problems. And they've done that. In the first shot, they've scored a try.
It's all good from an attacking point of view so far, isn't it? 2 tries in the opening 8 minutes, 1 apiece.
Well, that's it. Well, what you've got to do is make sure you get the other side of your game right now, defensively.
Yeah, we talk about that harking back 30 years. In the first couple of years, there were a lot of big scores, weren't there? Because everybody had concentrated on attack in that new full-time era, and then suddenly people realise you've got to defend as well. But here we are with a throwback in the early stages. Weaver from the touchline. He's landed 13 so far this year. Is this number 14? Yes, it is. Creeps over, and we're all square again with 8 minutes played.
Do you know, it's a big kick, that. Mentally, it's a big kick just to draw a level, get rid of that first score. Already in this game, you look, Ryan Carr's men have made 24 tackles to Bradford's 9. So he knows that they need the first share of possession with the ball. They don't want to be defending. And it all comes around from being disciplined. Disciplined in defence and disciplined with the ball.
So we start again. There's another of the throwbacks. Some of the top goal kickers of Castleford in the last 3 decades, and Joe Westerman's up there. Sure, he'll be adding to that. Here comes Forber again. Cas look to build from the back. Suddenly, a little bit of confidence where it had been missing, and Zach Sinney, who's having to fill in at full-back, not his natural position, but what is this now? His 5th game in that position, and that's a very decent carry from him as well, as McIntosh takes it on a stride or two. Here's Forber. Westerman is carting it forward at the last minute. A ball to Lawler, and Lawler looks to offload and flicks it away nicely, and Sinny's involved again. But one play to go. Former. There's Assey. Just putting it up there as a test again, and a good move from Hooley, and a good leap and catch as well.
That is a big take for him, because he was under some pressure, wasn't he? And again, Cass now looking to press really hard, get off the line. Great take that from Hooley.
In amongst that posse of defenders as well, wasn't he? So he did really well. There's Wonga Blake, who's dragged to the ground.
And that's what you get from Joe Westerman. He knows the threat from Wonga Blake, so he gets up and stops the big fella.
Ackers to Mellor. Sutton now with a push. He's himself close to that halfway line. It's back with Milnes. Late in the count, so puts the ball up there, and Sinny, well, just a little clumsy, but the ball went backwards, so he gets away with it. And Castleford do keep hold.
Do you know, they've got to be really, really careful, Cass. They had a big fella run off the Tony on the blind side. They were over or outnumbered over on the right-hand side. Too many numbers. They need to make sure that they number up, eyes up when they're defending. Bradford could have had a shot then on the right-hand side.
It's McIntosh who's dealt with. Westerman again. Hunting with a little bit of a thrust there, and takes his side closer to that halfway line. Lawler now started last week as a hooker. It's a position he's found himself a time or two down the years, but perhaps more natural in the role he plays tonight. It's a kick from Assey. Again, it has to be watched, but watched well enough by Akins, who safely brings it back.
Well, the possession highly in Bradford's favour. It's so imperative you get decent contact here.
Feels like a fast-moving start to this game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Well, the ref's reffing it at a decent pace, isn't he? Nice shot from Assey, wasn't it?
A bit of resistance from the Castleford defence. Ackers and Mellor slinging it back. Milnes offers it away again, and Akins, and they're trying to get things moving through Blake. But Blake is stopped. And one more play to go here for Bradford. Just about inside Castleford territory. Westerman came, but it's up from Milnes. It's caught by Sinny, and Castleford again. It's like a fast-moving pendulum at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Ball
is.
moving left and right.
Well, it certainly is. Chris Chester, Ryan Carr brought in some big wingers to try and get him going forward, hasn't he? We talked about Sini at the back. I think he did a really good job in centre last year, and this fella, wow, he's a fan's favourite already, isn't he? Miss a quick play, the ball, he can go here.
Missed the last game, Papalangi, but they'll be very glad he's back involved. And what's the referee giving here? I think
He's giving incorrect play the ball. Like saying there was no balance.
Incorrect play the ball. It's an incorrect play the ball, boys.
Well, we were singing his praises, and then he's given the ball away.
Well, look, he lands on the front. He's trying to get up and play the ball, saying they didn't have any balance when he gets up and plays it. I think some of these sometimes are really, really harsh. Some of the plays, you know what you've got to do. You've got to get up. The urgency, he won the tackle, did everything right. Apart from the final act.
Yeah, Matt Papalangi was pointing at the screen as if to say to the referee, look at that. But didn't have the confidence to make the challenge, so maybe that tells a tale. This now is Blake. It's a flick away that, it's bounced and spilled. It was an injudicious offload in the first place, wasn't it? And Bradford can't keep hold.
Yeah, there's no panic from Kurt Haggerty. That offload, well, it wasn't on. I think he was, first of all, expecting it to go to Joe Mellor. It didn't do that. And you can just see Kurt Haggerty's pretty composed, isn't he? As a coach, making his way in the game. As a head coach.
Doesn't give much away, does he?
No,
you can't
doesn't.
tell what the emotions are. And we've seen him in moments and glory. And there's an old fella these days, Brian Noble. Well, what a big role he's played in Super League. And the more games coached, Bradford coach than anyone else.
Hasn't he just? He looks like it as well, doesn't he? Now he's certainly changed from when he was younger, when he first got into the game.
We all have, Terry. It's called aging.
I think I still look the same, mate.
It's what happens. Picked up by Forber. Westerman, and Weavers is looking to see what he can do to open things up for McIntosh, but McIntosh runs into a Wall of Bradford defenders, so Cass start again with their intent. Westerman angling and looking as though he's playing with plenty of positive attitude here tonight. Weaver. A lovely dummy by Assi, almost buys him a gap in that defence. One play to go. Here's Weaver again. Sending it up there. Ryan's over there. There's a lot of Castleford hands, and it'll come out towards Lane. But
great defence.
Oh, hang
Hey,
on.
mate, that's tackle 5. I have no try. Confirmed knock-on.
Well, no try, but he feels it's worth asking the question here. So let's hear from the video referee for the first time tonight.
Okay, it's tackle 5. It's from a kick, so we'll just check the kick chase, pause the ball on the foot, and everybody to the right is onside. So we'll get something on the contest now. So it's a fair contest. Just check camera 5. And that's all back from Castleford. Lane takes possession, so now we're into the corner. So he's still in possession, He's still in the field of play there. And then he loses the ball. Thank you, I've made my decision.
So it's going to be no try, and it's another reason for celebration, isn't it? Because 30 years ago we were watching our first ever video referee decision. Everybody does it now, every sport, every broadcaster, but Sky and Rugby League were the very first 30 years ago. I think we had one at the original Paris-Sheffield game, didn't we? Well, this is going to be no try, and there is confirmation, and it remains at 6-6.
But again, it's real good signs, isn't it? And you've got to credit Ethan Ryan there. Did a really good job, didn't he? Tall lane up. Look at that. You thought he was in at one point. Great pressure from the winger.
Winecar's going to be very encouraged by this, isn't he? Maybe not with the opening 2 minutes, but what's happened since?
Look, there's been a lot of harsh words there, let's be honest. Players are held accountable for their performances. They want to go out there. They don't want to serve up the same sort of stuff. You get paid to play rugby, and they just weren't on it last week.
A bit of fortune here has given Hopkins a chance to have a run, express himself, but not far. Ackers marshals into dummy half again. Miller's got company right and left, goes left, and Castleford's defence remains tight here. Ackers again. Milnes, and tries to ghost his way through, but the Tigers' defence not having any of that. Quick rush out of dummy half by Ackers again, and it's a penalty, high tackle. So it's 2 points for the taking here, unless they fancy trying for the 6.
Well, he's clever, isn't he? He's a clever player, and the Ackers straight out from the dummy half. And they just go too high, don't they? And then George Lawler just clips him. And this is how close the game's going to be. They're going to take the 2 points. A nice play. Andy Ackers recognised that there was a bit of space, recognised that defence wasn't set. A swinging arm from George Lawler just sets up an easy 2 points for Luke Hooley here.
A little bit of a settle here. Right in front of those Bradford fans, so they're not going to do much to put him off here. They remain static. He sweeps into action, and now the arms reach for the air because it is a successful strike, and it's Castleford 6, Bradford 8. 17 minutes played very nearly.
Yeah, the Bradford fans are going to be really happy and impressed with what that man's brought to the side. They really are an attacking threat. Wherever they are on the field, Bradford will have a crack at you. Whether they're 10 metres from the line or halfway, there's plenty of ball movement. Runs from dummy half like that from Ackers.
3 wins so far from their 5 games, Bradford. All 3 have been at Odsal. Their two away defeats at Hull on the opening day, and St Helens 3 weeks after that. But my goodness, they gave a real fight there, and they're playing a style here, aren't they? Look at that, 2 passes right on their own goal line.
Not there's times in them games as well, the Hull and Saints defeats, that you thought he had chances to win it as well.
Ruan picks himself up. Bradford with Sutton will carry the forward motion. Ackers. Oh, and it's another penalty.
Just keep holding on, mate. You delay the play.
You've got to get him down, like you said before. But Ryan Sutton, he's been very good. 74 minutes he played in the front row last week. He was brilliant. What a big signing he's been for Kurt Haggerty. But when there's 3 men involved in the tackle, especially when you're the size of Renault Fatoni, you've got to make sure you get that man down.
Kick's not put out of play. That's it. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Touch judge with a flag in the air. There was some excitement amongst the Castleford players and supporters for a moment there. But it's as you were. Tap restart for the Bulls. Let's have a look, have a look, have a look. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I tell you, it's not a bad effort to keep it in, was it? The touch judge was insistent. Here's Ackers back to Mellor. Mellor tries to dance away, but oncoming was Westerman again to close his options down, but it is still kept alive with Sutton. Ackers. Castleford being pushed back onto their own goal line for this next defensive effort as Ackers goes running out there quickly. Kept alive again, and Akins is very nearly there.
No advantage, boys.
And what's the referee? I think we've got another penalty.
Again, another penalty that goes
Jordan,
against
you need
them.
to make a tackle, mate. But if you're committed, you need to make a tackle. You don't do that. It's late contact.
There you go, late contact. See, Ackers passes the ball, a little nudge in his back.
Down the line, boys.
Just a little lack of discipline could well be costly here. Or they're going for the kick again here from Hooley.
Another 2 points. Again, it's just as long as the scoreboard keeps ticking over in the favour. Again, Andy Ackers going out, causing some problems. And he just entices the defenders just to come and give him a little nudge in the back.
Luke Hooley, one of the 3 Bradford players tonight with very recent Castleford connections. Hooley having played here, Rowan Milnes, of course, and Chris Atkin on the bench, who's still officially a Castleford player. On loan at the Bradford Bulls and has played for the Tigers 3 or 4 times this season already. Tonight he'll go up against them. And Hooley has kicked the goal, 3 out of 3. And at 6 points to 10, we find ourselves midway through this first half.
And then lots of possession that they find themselves with. Just a little nudge in the back. Well, it's not going to hurt him. He didn't make anything of it. As well, Andy Ackers. Jordan Lane's just got to make sure he gets his timing right to gift 2 points. Another gift 2 points for Luke Hooley and his boot. Always be aware that they're going to shift the ball. Always be aware that if they get their hands free in the tackle, they're going to look to offload. This Bradford side are always going to look to play.
30th anniversary of Super League this weekend. To remind you, Hull KR against St Helens tomorrow night adds to the feast. York, one of the newcomers, against Wakefield, the most recent addition to the Super League roll of honour, of course. Wigan Huddersfield on Saturday afternoon as Bradford look to attack again here with Ryan on that left-hand side. Has support from Akins. Akins skips on the inside of City. Still going here, looking for an offload if he can, but he can't get it away with Wonga Blake close behind him. But he couldn't get it away. Still they come, and it's a forward pass.
Yeah.
Mistake made.
Forward pass.
When they initially made the break, I thought there was an obstruction to a Castleford player. When they played on, they go across, shows one way, goes the other side. Leon Ruin just gets over that advantage line. And what they've got to make sure that they do is make sure again, just got to make sure you number up. And the Ackers out of dummy half, he'll test you. They'll test the markers, they'll go one way to come back the other. The big man, Leon Ruin, just needed an extra yard then.
So Kes having to start from deep, as we know from this field. It doesn't take much to go from a deep position to an attacking position. One of the tightest in the game, Forber dancing out of dummy half again, and Cass advancing their cause, but only by a stride or 2. Actually, Lane has to untangle and gets, and in fact, Bradford defenders don't untangle quick enough, so it's another penalty for Castleford. We're seeing plenty of penalties so far.
What did John Wilkins say before the game? That James Vella likes slow rucks? I'm not so sure. He's pretty hot on them, isn't he? Yeah, 7 penalties in 22 minutes. Well, it's a fair effort, that.
What it has given Cass as well is an immediate attacking platform to build from as well here. And we've got a stoppage.
Two boys. Right.
2 balls on the field. I think that was the problem. It's an innovation we've not had yet. It's back with Weaver. A push and a hard push as well. That finds Hurst just about 40 away. Westerman again. I see to Weaver. The hit was a good one. Ryan's chasing after this, picks it up. But the ref says a knock-on the back of that. So the round doesn't have that thrilling chase to the goal line that he was hoping for.
Well, the hit looked brilliant, didn't it? But I think there's some contact here. Does it come off Blake's hand, his left hand, as he floors Weaver?
That was a big shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the tackle. He's committed, he goes in, but the ball does come off his left hand.
As we mentioned before with Wonga Blake, he does like the throwback plaster over his nose as well, doesn't he? They were all wearing those, Wonga, about 30 years ago.
He's brought it back for the 30-year anniversary. That's what he's done.
The charcoal under the eyes. You remember the charcoal under the eyes? For a spell. I remember Sean Edwards at Central Park with a charcoal under his eyes, like the American footballers.
Sean Edwards had many a fashion thing. Torpedoes that were baggy on him.
This is something that is still very much part of the game. That big contact, that big collision.
Tom Weaver got plenty of attention last week, didn't he, from Kalepitang? You know, like, he's okay. He knows as a half, if he's going closer line, if he's coming out the back, there's always the centre or the winger that's going to jam you really hard. And he's took it, not made anything of it.
New to the scene, but he's all 7 so far in that position for Cass. Settling in alongside Dejan Arce and feeding this scrum as well. And here it comes to Arce, who's got support in the first instance from Napapalangi, who's not going too far, just hopping an extra yard or two. Forber, Westerman taking it in with a bit of determination.
He's been really good, Joe Westerman.
Forber again, Arce, and a step away from Weaver, popping it over the top, but then I had to go back to collect. Another set of 6 there for Castleford. They're encroaching at the moment towards this Bradford line. McIntosh with the latest carry, and 5 more plays to go. Lawler, what can they build from here? Lawler with a one-man effort. Big solo carry. 4 defenders drawn into that. A little bit of energy drawn out of them as well. Weaver, quick hands, brilliant hands to this left-hand side. And here comes Gary again with a second. Well, he tends to score them in clutches, doesn't he? And Jason Gary has his second of the night and gives Castleford parity again.
And again, the big message from that man is, look, don't panic. Let's play our players, knock out our sets, get up near Bradford's line and have a go at him. And the second try they've scored on the left through that man, Jason Gary. Nice movement from them, nice quick hands as well. Because if you look at the right edge from Bradford, there's some aggressive defence there from the centre and the winger. They come in, they can't close the play down, which is always dangerous. As soon as men and defenders inside you start jamming in, you've got to make sure you nail them. Unfortunately, they don't do that, and Jason Gary comes up with his second. Nice little play, nice ball out the back from Arce, and good finish. So close to that dead ball line from Jason Gary.
Well, given the start they made to the game, Castle were very happy that they have an opportunity to take the lead for the first time tonight. Tom Weaver. Countdown is on. 10-10 as it stands. He was absolute dead-eye with the first one from further out. How does he fare with a slightly easier conversion attempt? Just as well as the answer. And 12 points to 10. Castleford now lead.
It's a big kick, isn't it? The Cass fans, all they wanted from their team today when they turned up was a bit of effort. And they've shown that, in these 2 tries that they've scored against a very, very good Bradford side. They've looked strong over on the left-hand side. And the celebrations, the relief in the crowd says it all.
Well, it's a great cameo story he's writing, isn't it, Jason Gary this year? He had a dreadful season. I think he only managed one game the whole of last season, but he's very much a permanent fixture this, and is scoring tries to match as well. That's his 4th of the season, by the way.
Yeah, not missed a game this year, and look, when he's on fire, remember when he burst onto the scene and scored that try?
Yeah.
His first touch of the ball as a kid.
Yeah.
Unreal against Hull.
That was one of Super League's highlights, wasn't it? Back in 2021.
I'm glad you didn't ask me the year. I couldn't quite remember the year.
I suspect I could ask you again now and you'd still have forgotten. But Castleford ranging back towards enemy territory as well. Weaver with a reach, selecting the pass, and Assi and now Sini, and Sini on the 5th is dealt with. Weaver. It's a bit of a tester there because of that height. He does get some height on the kicks, does Weaver, as Akins brings it back.
Well, that's what he's got in his locker room, isn't he? He's got a real good kicking game. Just make sure they keep these tackles down.
There's the win predictor, the draw at 5% if you fancy those odds, but very much in the balance so far, isn't it? It's a reflection of the scoreline as it stands, really. Ackers, Miller helps it on, and Bradford fighting their way back towards the halfway line. Ormonroyd on the field from the interchange bench. Miller changing direction.
Yeah, Sam Hall onto the field as well for Cass. He was another player, 70 minutes last week in the middle.
This is Milnes with a kick. It's Sini underneath it. He's got company, and that might have made a difference. Oh, it's bounced backwards off his chest and he's landed on it. He's had a stroke of fortune.
Didn't he do well to get back on that? He looked so confident going for the ball. He goes up, eyes on it, the ball goes behind him. The readjustment gets hold of it.
Gary with a wriggle, wants to get on with it. Forber picks up from dummy half and goes shooting out there again and takes his side a little closer to where they want to be. Assi now will stand in that position. It's the big guns down at the middle at the moment. Brock Greason on the field from the bench. This is the last. So it's Assi who's got time to kick here. And again, aerially, it's challenging, but Akins with a catch once more.
Yeah, pretty solid line then, wasn't it, for Akin, who can return the ball with some interest. Ethan Ryan now trying to do exactly the same. Just trying to get his head through the line, get down on his front and play the ball quickly. Nice solid defence from Cass, getting numbers in.
This is Blake. He'll play, and Ackers. Mellor again. He's trying to create a bit of shape, a bit of something on this right-hand side. They've kept it alive nicely enough. Akins goes skipping away. Blake comes in again, just brushing off the first attempt by Greason, but he's done enough there to ensure that teammates can follow up that challenge and complete the job. Sutton solidly in again, whacks it forward. And he's still making progress here. A decent metre or two after contact there as well. And on the last, Milnes will put it up in the air. Malomai underneath it, but the ball's gone to ground. Referee says again it went backwards. Weaver picks it up and Sini can recover the situation.
Again, it's another thing that's going for them, isn't it? And they'll take that all day. That ball goes up. So he goes up, goes behind him. Perfect place from Tom Weaver. You ride your luck, don't you?
You do.
In this game.
That was a phrase that was coming to mind there. Riding their luck. That's what Cass are doing underneath those high balls. Brock Greason on again. Forber jogging back to position. Chance to earn some Super League minutes, his coach Matty Peters said at Wigan. And he's putting in some minutes here. Kick is Assi's. Akins again, who's right place. Hit the ground and then was hit on the ground by the thunderous Valamai. That was just a semi-Valamai, by the way. Imagine that, the whole one.
Oh, yeah. You've been working on that, haven't you?
I work on nothing, Terry, as my critics will tell you.
Big shot. Jordan Lane. Tell you what, there's a different attitude in defence, isn't there, in this game?
Here's Ackers. Nicarima with a delayed pass, which has created the opening in the end here on this right-hand side for Chamberlain, who feeds it back in for Mellor to finish. That was a thing of beauty, and you have to lay a lot of respect to Jayden Nicarima there with that early, just the delay of the ball that caught Castleford's defence cold, and it's finished in some style by Mellor.
Well, again, classic Bradford, isn't it? Brilliant try from them, from one of the best, Joe Mellor. I think what a signing he has been for Bradford. You just look at him there, he just senses something, doesn't he? Absolutely brilliant. Started his career in the halves. Over 100 career tries he's scored. He's brilliant. Jayden Nicarima, you just look at the work. He just fixes a defender, gives the ball to Chamberlain. Chamberlain doesn't panic. Started this game in the back row. Played centre, played wing. He knows exactly what he's got to do close to the sideline, and he knew that Joe Mellor would be pushing up in support. All set up from Jayden Nicarima.
So one of the most compelling facts I read about Joe Mellor, and this is thanks to our mate Proctors, who's provided this, Ian Proctor, is as a ball player, he's done really well this year. He picked 59 tackles.
59 tackles, incredible.
And he's that kind of number every week for Mellor.
When he started his career as half-back, he wouldn't have done that in 4 games, 5 games. Against an easy 2 points from Luke Hooley to knock over. He's like reinvented himself, hasn't he, Joe Mellor? Played a lot of 9 when he's at Salford. You can see him backing up. He just goes over. He knows exactly what's what. He's just got to be there. He's looking over his left shoulder, just in case he's in the way of anybody. But he's the 35-year-old. He gets his reward. But it was just nice play from Jayden Nicarima, who skips across, fixes a defender, gives the ball on to Chamberlain, and Chamberlain looking for support straight away.
So strikers off again off the big boot of McIntosh, and looking to keep Bradford penned as deep as possible inside their own half here. They'll be looking to strike again. Sutton once more. Still striding at the minute, striding at the yards. Because a look around right and left before he makes that decision on where it's going to go. Into the middle comes Blake. This is Ackers again, sharply at a dummy off the inside ball, but Castleford's defence remains stout. It's Lane who is there to block that. It's a kind of move that would have led for a try last week, the way they were playing Cass for Warrington. This now is Mills. Into the floodlights it flies, and this is caught safely this time by Ballamar.
Breathe a sigh of relief for the catch. That one clean. They couldn't have got away with 3 of them. They got away with the 2. And Bradford now just looking to just up the tempo in this game, coming up to the final 5 minutes of the first half.
Speed off the line there was eye-catching. Alban Royd leading that chase on the previous tackle. Cass looking to repel that enthusiasm as Hall carries. Forber and Weaver dropping it back again, and Bradford hoping to make sure that their opponents don't get too far beyond that halfway line, which they don't, with only 1 play to go. So off the boot of Assey it flies. He's hurt himself. He's hurt himself as Ballamar. It looks as though he's knocked himself out clean there.
And he threw himself into that, didn't he? Ballamar, wow, got his timing right, didn't want to give a penalty away. They hit him too early. And Carno just sending down the message. Just how he will reshape his side if he does need to leave the field.
Well, they've got some medical staff on there, and the physios on there, and this is going to be treated very, very seriously. Well, we talk about the 30th anniversary of Super League. It's the official birthday on Sunday, and those who were around to remember it will remember that Leeds versus Warrington was one of those games on that first weekend. It all started in Paris with Paris Saint-Germain against Sheffield Eagles. But Leeds and Warrington remain big hitters in the Super League, and we've got a brilliant programme for you. You cannot miss it. It's full of nostalgia, some great rugby league from that game, but full of nostalgia as well. 4:30 p.m. One of the big reveals at half-time in that game, of course, is going to be the fans' team of Super League. So we've heard from the likes of Terry, who's put all his mates in. We've heard from John Wilkin, from a load of people, but it's going to be the actual fans who've been voting online, and you've still got time to vote for that as well. Sky platforms. And at half-time in that game, we will be revealing the Super League team of 30 years. It's a head on the ground, isn't it? I think it's done for him there.
Yeah, look, it just hits him with some power, doesn't he? Unfortunately, as soon as he made that contact, you knew that he was out. It was a big loss. He was brilliant. Last week, he was probably Cass's best. One of only 2 players to make over 100 metres carrying the ball.
Got a hamstring injury pre-season which ruled him out until last week, and this will be a big blow for Cass to see him going off with this HIA. They'll be hoping he can pass and get back on. He will. Well, that's a risky pass. Papalangi was all over that. Nicarima did well to hold on. Ackers one-handed. Nicarima again, dancing right, left, right again. Somehow the ball came free, and somehow Bradford are able to prosper on the back of that as well, as Ryan tries to cut in, but Cass defence across there. 1 play to go. Still a good 40 metres away. So Milnes puts it up there, and City has to travel a long way. And the makeshift full-back does very well again.
Yeah, well, he did well because the only other player in the vicinity was Jordan Lane. I think Jordan Lane's gone to centre now. Forecast with Darnell McIntosh going onto the wing. And they'll be hoping, like I said before, that Valamai gets back onto the pitch.
Loading numbers on this left-hand side. Angle of attack, done by Assi. Gets it away as well, Forber. Ola and now Weaver, and then straightened up.
I think there's going to be a late,
Tony.
Yeah, late shot. Yeah, on suspicion here. Papalangi, he's offering himself. He's pushing up in support. And the Bradford player, look, he just pushes up, he goes through the gap. And Easton Masters, well, he's there. So he thinks, well, why not just stick my shoulder in?
And again, it's the head on the ground that seems to have done the greater damage there, not the actual contact.
He's okay.
Papalangi's okay. Castleford have a penalty.
I'll support the man who's carrying the ball. They did that and they get a reward for it. Only a little thing. But another set of 6 and it's in Bradford's half.
Well, it's been a game that has been tight from the very start so far in terms of scoreline. Neither side really pushing out to any great advantage thus far. And it's been a case of you score, we score, and it's Castleford's turn under those rules and regulations, because they find themselves 10 away. Weaver again. And Tony just solidly in there. But they've still got plays to go, still got magic to conjure here. Weaver with a short one, Lawler. But grasping hands from Bradford defenders stop him in his tracks. Forber picks up, short again, but no way for Hurst. Wrapped up the moment he got the ball. This will be the last. Forber puts it back. Assi now on the left foot, chipping it high, asking a question. Sini went back, Weaver takes the catch, pops it over the top, and it will be McIntosh to score in the corner. Referee points the finger, and Castleford do have yet another response. And it looks as though they'll be at very least level going into the break.
Look, wherever they're in and close to the line, Bradford's 20 metres, that they look dangerous, don't they? They've got shape, they've got threats, and they look really good for it, don't they? The big thing for them is just keeping hold of that ball and playing up near Bradford's line. They've shown in this first half what they can do. When they get a couple of sets up there, they've only really examined the line 3 or 4 times. They've scored on 3 occasions. And nice ball over the top from Weaver to Darnell McIntosh. Nice kick initially from Dejan Assi. Goes up to contest, Sini gets it back. And Weaver, well, he made that ball look easy over the top, didn't it? And McIntosh just not panicking at all. hugging the chalk on the touchline, and he goes in for an important try.
Well, big personnel change on that right-hand side for Cass, but hasn't stopped them scoring down that channel. And Weaver now has the chance to give his side the lead. Both kicks so far have been from the other side. This time this is the first time we'll see him tested from that right touchline. Success probability of 58%. So no certainty by any stretch of the imagination. Weaver settles.
Shot clock off.
Strikes it well enough. How are the flats looking? Not good. It goes wide and it remains at 16 points apiece with a minute of the first half to go.
Well, I just think it shows what Ryan Carr's men can do in this game. Like last week, they were completing against Warrington at 69% early on in this game. Against Kurt Haggerty's men, they were completing around the same, but now they seem to have upped that. They're respecting the ball, 81%, getting through the sets and coming on the back of scoring a couple of tries.
So Mills hoists it, and Castleford will get a touch of the ball before the hooter sounds. The question is, can they go a full 80 metres or so in this next few tackles? Well, they're looking as though they wanted to go wide. Sini now. Here comes Weaver. And a blast a hole down the middle if they can. Lawler. Asi, and here comes Mapapalangi, who's making things look interesting here. And Gary is in for a hat-trick. Oh, wow! Wow! Absolutely breathtaking down that left-hand side. Quality centre play. Incisive finishing from a winger who just keeps exciting us. And Cass have the lead, and he has a hat-trick.
Incredible. When they were going over to the right-hand side and they were looking to play, I was thinking, oh, do you be a bit more conservative or do you have a go and chance your arm? Well, they certainly did that. And that's the confidence that they've got in the squad, that they'll back themselves. A few seconds to go to half-time. They come from one side of the field to the other. Mapapalangi doing a decent job yet again. He just holds up three defenders, Mapapalangi, and he gives the ball to one of the quickest men on the field, in Jason Gary. Look at that. Big play from the centre, creating space for your winger. And wow, hasn't that made the talk at half-time by Ryan Carr so much easier? The way they finished this half, plenty of confidence. Kurt Haggerty really disappointed to concede a sucker punch like that. And that's his first hat-trick, wow. And we're going to see plenty more in that young man's career.
Well, countdown how the hooter will sound as soon as Weaver has put boot to ball here. His kicking has been pretty good from this side so far. Can he add just one more? Swings it in. Yes, he can. 3 out of 4, 22 points to 16. It was a poor start from Castleford with Bradford out of the blocks quick, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And boy, have we been given a lesson in finishing again tonight from Jason Gary. And Castleford lead at half-time by 22 points to 16.
He did, scoring first through Easton Masters before Jason Gary hit back with the first of his hat-trick of tries. You have to say, though, the returning Christian Mapapalangi has played more than a major part in the 3 4-pointers for Gary, the flying wingman. 22-16 at half-time for Ryan Carr and the Castleford Tigers, as they have responded in style. Let's get back to the game and the kickoff. Dave Woods, take it away.
We're underway. It was terrific first half, wasn't it? And let's hope for more of the same in this second half as well, in terms of entertainment of what we have seen so far. By the way, Castleford haven't won back-to-back home games since April 2024. Well, they beat Huddersfield a couple of weeks ago here, so they have a chance to rewrite that piece of history if they can hang on here. But what we've seen from Bradford, it's going to be quite a battle. in this unpredictable second period. Cass with the early possession, an early chance to make inroads as well with Mapapalangi, who's got Gary away again, who's threatening to fall. And it was high, so it'll be a penalty here for Cass. And it's a mirror image of the first half. Bradford haven't touched the ball, but now Castleford in this second half are
reverse,
dominating.
isn't it? Yeah. Well, his speed terrifies people, Jason Gary, and he'll back himself to go so close to that touchline. Do the basics well, which they did. Then the forwards getting on a real roll for the backs before they shifted it.
Well, full of confidence. It has been a test of their character here, hasn't it? Without harping on about it, the way they lost last week, not just the loss, but the way they lost last week, conceding that early try here tonight, but the way they have been responding has been pretty impressive, and Bradford need a response of their own here. This is Asi, who puts it back for Ranouf Atoni to have a drive. It's Forba out of dummy half again, a little twist and a turn and a reach, and I think he's got there. Lawler with a big arm. And the referee points the finger, and they have scored without their opponents touching the ball. What a start for Cass.
Well, a big start going down the left-hand side from Jason Gary. Sets him up for that field position after the penalty. It was a real strong carry from Reno Fatoni, I think it was, who managed to leave a couple of defenders on the ground, get up, play the ball quick. And then all that Tom Forber had to do was get on from dummy half and just set it up for him. Nice little hit and spin. Gets rid of 3 defenders, powers over the line, and Forber, he just tips the ball onto his loose forward, goes the other side of the sticks, and comes up with a nice try.
One of the standout things about the start of this new Super League is just the unpredictability it's bringing at the moment. You know, you don't know what to expect going into every game, and Castleford are giving us something here that I don't think many would have expected. Chance to turn this lead into quite an expansive one now. 28-16 early in the second half. So I wonder what was being said at half-time. Jenna Brooks, what was being said at half-time?
Yeah, Dave, I can tell you Ryan Carr made for a much happier figure at half-time this week than I'm sure last week. He said that they are playing the game that they want to be playing and the game that they've been building towards in pre-season. So he's a very happy man. He's going to be even happier after that try. Kurt Haggerty, simple as this, defend their errors.
And no change in the demeanour of Kurt Haggerty as well. He's still giving nothing away. And at the moment, it's Castleford who are giving nothing away. Bradford being starved of possession in these early stages.
It's been a good 5-minute spell for them, hasn't it? They get another penalty here.
It's another penalty.
Yeah, they're playing the ball, they're looking to play the ball with some urgency, and it's got them 16 points in that 5-minute spell either side of half-time. So it's working for them, isn't it?
Trailing 12-16, what, 3 minutes before the break, and here they lead 28-16. It's been quite a turnaround. Bradford need to stem the flow quickly, need to find a way to curb the enthusiasm that their opponents are throwing at them. Greason
carries hard, doesn't he? Look at him again, leaving defenders on the ground.
Now Ruin's in a bit of trouble on the back of that, isn't he? Slow to his feet and back to the line. In the meantime, Cass carry on regardless.
He's made an impact from the bench, Sam Hall.
This is Forber. And Weaver again now, and just tricks his way through! Marvellous! Absolutely marvellous! Tom Weaver with sleight of hand and quickness of foot, and Cass have another. They're turning this into a cakewalk.
Yeah, we said in the first half that he's a smart player, isn't he? He was targeted last week. When Lepi Tanginora had the ball, he picked him out all the time. Obviously, that's what he wants to do. That's the part of the game. He's show and go, running, taking on defences. And it's a big play yet again from Cass. Look at that, he's got options. And Reno Fatoni, he just takes the eyes off a Bradford defender. Whenever you're a half-back and you go at line, you want support. Reno Fatoni turns up, and because he turns up, Ed Chamberlain's looking at him, and he spooks you. He's such a big man, Ren, off of Tony. And you can see that Ed Chamberlain just has eyes for a Tony. And the gap opens up for Weaver. Oh, what a big start in this second half. And an end to the first half for Cass.
Well, in terms of points per minute, this is astonishing, because 2 minutes before the break, 5 minutes after the break, so 7 minutes in total. They've just scored 24 unanswered points. 34-16 now.
You know, we talked about it a number of times, and the lads talked about it in the studio before the game. All that you want to see from this Cass side, who were absolutely hammered last week. They were embarrassed, and they'll tell you that themselves. They don't need telling. They wanted a response. And up to now, and I know we've still got 34 minutes to go in this game, but they're doing a pretty decent job after a slow start. Remember, Bradford scored, was it after 2 minutes?
Yep. Ethan Masters, 2 minutes. We've got another debutant on the field. Phoenix Steinwade has just come on for the Bradford Bulls. Leon Ryan has gone off for an HIA. So that's why Steinwade's on the park. He's a big lad. Here's Phoenix. Only arrived in the country on Monday. Partial training session. Day off on Tuesday. Captain's run on Wednesday. And Super League debut on Thursday night. It's been quite a week. Sunny day. Weaver up and out. This now is McIntosh, hunted down by a posse of Bradford defenders. So Forber stands and waits. This is Lawler, try scorer. Into Bradford's half by a stride or two. And on the last, it's back with Weaver, who puts that kick high and hanging again. And taken safely by Akins, and Bradford start from there. They've got their hands on the ball.
Yeah, well, Bradford here now, the exit sets have got to be really good. Only Ethan Ryan just met really hard by a Tony, and Hall turned onto his back, makes it a bit slower for them. And the Acker's just desperate for a quick play of the ball to show the magic he can conjure up.
Sutton whacking it forward again. Because time to have a little look around. Dummy thrown by Mills, not bought by those Castleford defenders. Ackers, again they're on the last. Nikarima has to be sharp with that kick, and that's comfortable than he would have hoped for because of the chase. And Sini again is doing a really good job. I mean, you can't underestimate just how good he's doing. You know, they've had some, as a lot of clubs have had, they've had some ill favour to their fullbacks this year, haven't they? Blake Taff, everyone was looking forward to watching him, but he's gone.
Well, the stats are starting to tip into Cass's favour, aren't they? With the possession, the completion rate, the metres. And there was a little bit of a play as well from Sam Holland putting pressure on the kicker. Little things like that that coaches like to see. Again, another strong carry.
Lauder, Weaver. Sini stepping in. Wanted to get that ball away, and it's going to be offside against the Bradford Bulls. So another penalty here for Castleford.
Phoenix pushes him off the ball. There's no need for the push, boys.
See, just a little nudge in the back from the debut man. Phoenix Steinwade. And pretty consistent in the game. The referee, James Vella.
Well, it's another very good attacking position here that Castleford find themselves in. Bradford are under duress. The Bulls need to dig deep. They cannot afford to concede again, surely. 18 the difference as it stands. Any more than that and it gets unworkable, you'd fear. Another set though for Cass. Forber throws it for Weaver. Weaver looking at the runners. It's Assey who steps and then just surges again, but three defenders attracted to him. Forber. This is Tony, who's going to carry his big frame over that line, but push back again. What's going on here? Another set of six, the referee decides. Too much interference from the defending team. Sini puts it out there, and it's a walk-in from McIntosh. It's another for Castleford. Castleford. Second of the night for Darnell McIntosh. Castleford are running up what seems at the moment to be an unassailable lead.
Well, Darnell McIntosh was getting fed up in this game with all the action going over to the left-hand side to Jason Gary. He may have started off slow, but boy, they have had a good 30, 40-minute spell. And again, you just look at Weaver at the line, seeing he gets that 2-on-1. He gives the ball at the right time. As soon as he pulls the winger in, you can see for Ryan, well, he's caught in no man's land. The shorter numbers, he has to make a decision. He chooses to go in to try and stop the play. And McIntosh scores the try. Look at that, the reaction from Chris Chester.
Well, bottle the delight, and remember this moment, Castleford fans have not had this reason to celebrate for a while. And the coach, he's not giving away much either, but he's, I'm sure, absolutely delighted at the moment.
You look at Bradford this year, they've not conceded 38 points in the games that they've played. Games that we've waxed lyrical about, and that will be hurting Kurt Haggerty.
Yeah, the 2 defeats, they've lost twice, but never by more than 7 points. And they're adding 2s to the 4s, and that adds to the punishment. 40 points to 16.
How good has his kicking been? He's turning the 4 points into 6 all the time, isn't he, Weaver? And he's having an influence on this game. Only missed 1 kick, so racked up 12 points. Every time the likes of McIntosh and Jason Gary scores it, no matter where it scores. Weaver's only missed with 1 of those conversions.
Super League tries in Super League. Michael Shenton, such longevity as a player here, of course, right at the top of that. Greg Eden, remember those golden years under Darryl Powell when they were running up big scores, and Greg Eden on the left-hand side was dashing over. Darren Rogers, there's a name from the past. Danny Orr and Kirk Dixon, their top 5. I wonder if Gary will feature in that come the end of his career.
Greg Eden still might be even playing as well. You talked about Greg Eden on the left-hand side, or Michael Shenton as well in that 2017. They were brilliant, that left edge, weren't they, for Cass? Luke Gale in there as well.
Fella on the other side who retired at the end of the season. Castleford looking to surge again here. Sunny down the middle. Here's Fulber. He's back with Assey. His kick should find Akins, who's done well enough. Again, a tough starting position, but Akins has done really well there.
Yeah, doesn't he? Just manages to get through the defensive line. Sam Hall just clinging on. Luke Cooley again with a strong carry, pushing Mapalangi back.
Yeah, 2 carries and up and beyond the halfway line. So this is looking up just at the moment for the Bulls.
There's always going to be a response in this game, isn't there, from Bradford? There's a 6 again from them as well.
Restart to the set, and that gives them a hope. Steinway, captured really from QRL and New South Wales Cup in the last few years. He was on the Roosters and the Gold Coast roster. This now is an opportunity. Nikorima and Akins, and then a couple of steps from Masters, but no further than that. But they are getting a little closer here. Nikorima again, a reach by Mellor. Mellor with a step, but too many in his way. Ackers having a look. Bradford desperate to score next. Nikorima now takes it on, trying to create shape and space for runners, but Castle's defence is tight at the moment. Nikorima with a little chip and chase, which Cass will watch, and Lane just tickles out of play. Oh, hang on.
Liam made tackle 4.
Hang on.
I have no try. Check the merits of a penalty try. Sam Hall contact on Nikorima, please, mate.
Well, there you go. There you go. Some controversy here. Let's hear from the video ref.
Okay, it's tackle 4. We have a live call of no try. We're checking for the merits of a penalty try. So it's a kick. Everybody to the left is onside, so we can track it through from here. We're looking at the movement of Sam Hall. He's allowed to turn his back and move towards the ball. Let's just see what he does here.
Actions of Sam Hall, contact on Nikorima, okay?
There has to be a lateral movement for it to warrant an offence. For me there, he just turns his back and runs towards the ball, the direction that the ball's going. So happy to play on from there. Castleford then kicked the ball dead. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Well, probably worth having a check, but nothing doing from that situation, so we go back to the dropout underneath the sticks, which I think we all expected, and here's confirmation for all those on the terraces and in the stands. There we go. Straightforward that, wasn't it?
Stay on!
So Weaver with a drop restart, looking for a little bit of distance here. Making sure Bradford have to work for anything that they get from this position. Castleford's defence up there to meet. 4 tries and 4 goals needed by the Bulls to get themselves level from here. It needs to start soon, and Nicarima is in the mood to start it soon, but he's thrown the ball away. There's an obstruction, and Castleford have a penalty.
We're throwing numbers at Cass's defensive line then.
The lead runner makes
And you can see that the lead runner then just makes contact with, I think it was it Lawler or Jordan Lane, sorry. And it's the new boy, Phoenix Steinway, the man who goes in, pushes him back. You can see throws his arms up straight away, the number 11, Jordan Lane.
So the tap finds them already progressing with some intent. Forber. Looks as though he could be going the distance here tonight, doesn't he, Tom Forber? A couple of interchange appearances for Wigan so far this season, but this could be a full 80-minute job for him. Here's Cini and Gary, the strike weapon. Weaver. It's Greason. Forward again, dashing in there. Looking for that middle channel again. Westerman, who just teases the defence with his big figure and then just drops the ball backwards, and suddenly it's Mapapalangi who's trying to cause confusion once more, and in the end he falls over. Fooled himself in the end. Lost his footing. Last play. Acid. And it's an easy take in the middle.
Catch from McIntosh. Bradford again, just they're going to be running out of time. They're going to be trying anything soon. Nice hell on the leg.
Clearly heard the referee shouting hell before the ball was released, so nothing wrong with that. The line's quick, giving Ethan Ryan nothing. This is Ackers again.
Defensively, they've been good. They just missed 3 tackles in this game, Cass. 17 for Bradford.
Wheelie rolls up, gets on. Castleford off the line again as soon as the ball is played. Bradford need to find something here. Steinway. And on to the last. Nicarima. Mills. Tight position for where he has to kick that. It's taken safely by Cini, who returns with some economy.
Desperate for a mistake here. Bradford tried to force an error from Jason Gary. Cass was just about doing the basics, right? We keep saying it all the time, just keep turning up for your teammate, keep supporting him.
There's a reminder of everything that's to come this weekend. As ever, the full bill of 7 Super League matches starting tonight, but a big finale this week. As you will know, the 30th anniversary of Super League, and we've got a that's a knock-on offside there. Penalty for Bradford, yeah, offside. The big finale on Sunday afternoon, Leeds against Warrington, 4:30 we're on air for that one. And there'll be so many familiar faces and moments you'll have forgotten to be reminded of, and then what should be a wonderful game as well between 2 very good clubs. In the meantime, Bradford have a hole they need to dig themselves out of. He's slipping forward. This is Lewis, Logan Lewis, missed the last couple of weeks because of suspension. And it's popped back by Mills into the hands of Akins, who's immediately snapped up. Mills again. Mellor, Nikarima, and they're spreading it wide here, and there's a threat when it's in this fella's hands, Eason Masters, but the threat is acknowledged and is diffused. Still a couple to go. Nikarima pops it back, Mellor and Mills striding onto that one, and so is Steinway, but squeezed between a couple in Castleford colours. Mellor again, they've got a bit of space here, they've got loads of space here. It just needed clean handling, and Hooley will finish on that right-hand side. Well, if there is a way back, maybe that's the first step. Bradford needed that, and they have got it.
Yeah, big play from Bradford to get some points on the board. And Luke Hooley, like you said before, 11 appearances forecast in 2024. And this is what they can do. They just got them, didn't they? For numbers, execution, the pass from Ed Chamberlain to Luke Hooley just gives them a bit of hope in this game. It's a big kick to come as well from the sideline. Can they get this over? And it's Luke Hooley, the man who scored the try, is going to go for it.
Well, they have to get all the points on offer, don't they? If, and it remains a big if, they are to find some way back into this game.
Shot clock off.
And he settles and sends it the way he hopes it wants to go, and it does. Between the sticks, 40 points to 22. There are still 20 minutes left to play. At the rate of scoring in this game, anything could happen.
Oh, that's a massive, massive kick from Luke Hooley. You look at that, it just brings it back to 18 points. 3 converted tries that they needed. If they would have missed that, it would have been 4 scores that they needed. So it's a big try from Hooley and a big kick as well. Like I said, to give those fans hope. It's not bad when you've got someone who can score tries like that and kick 5 from 5 on the night.
They have shown some personality this year of the Bradford Bulls. That game against St Helens that they lost, it wasn't the width of margin that we've got here at the moment, but they look well beaten, but then found a way to really make it a nervous last few minutes in that match. Can they do something similar again here? Ethan Ryan down his left-hand side.
But again, expect those sort of players. 6 again. Again, every time they shift the ball, they're looking to skin them on the edge, aren't they? And there's a 6 again, and then there's offside as a penalty. So a couple of errors now, back-to-back errors after scoring the try.
Doesn't take much for momentum to switch, does it? The kick is just about out of play. Gary went high in the air, couldn't quite get hands on that, so Bradford start from here. What an opportunity. Back-to-back required. Another set. Mellor, Mills, Akin. Castleford defenders there in numbers. No way through. Ackers untidy to play the ball, so that's why we've got another set of 6. Here's Ackers. Mellor looks to switch the play, but then turn it back the way it was going originally. Push and a barge. No further than that, though. Rowan plays. It's with Mellor. It's Lewis. Oh, my goodness.
It's a high shot.
He was nearly chopped in half.
Yeah, Joe Westerman just comes over the top.
Time off.
Well, they're not doing themselves any favour. 3 or 4 set restarts, a couple of penalties as well along with that. So 5 sets. They put themselves under a bit of pressure. And Kurt Haggerty again just looks pretty cool, doesn't he? Knowing that his time or his side have still got the time.
Discipline's going to improve down here. In the rucks, get them out. Don't line them back in the ruck. The message across now.
But with a captain Jordan Lane there, referee's requirements for his team.
Boys, clean runs. Do not test me. Right.
Challenge thrown down by the referee. Do not test me.
Down line here, boys. Respond to the calls.
So another set for Bradford to hurl themselves at this Castleford line. Hallis with a big drive. Up and plays. Ackers. Mills, couple of dummies, then tries to go himself. Bradford's defence scrambling. Plenty of tenacity for those in yellow. It's with Mellor. Nicarima stops and tries to go the other way, but caught from behind. Ackers again. The pass is a poor one, but as so often happens, it turns into a glorious opportunity, and Hooley's dragged out of play. Great response from the Cas defence, and Bradford for the moment thwarted.
The last few players in that set, Papalangi's done a decent job. He comes out the line, he turns Jaden Nicarima back inside, and then Jason Garigari doesn't panic at all, does he? He knows he's got a one-on-one. His biggest friend in this moment is the touchline, and he just shapes him up. He gets him to the sideline and gets him over Luke Hooley.
There is some frustration leaping into the face of the coach. Castleford have an opportunity to just be a little conservative here. Just get through their set and find a way downfield. Searching that blind side, they are searching width, putting pressure on that Bradford defence. Over again. Having gone left now go all the way right. McIntosh, no purchase. Lane picks up. Sinney. Westerman holding off a couple of defenders. Done really well here, Joe Westerman. It's taken them 4 of them in the end. 2 missed, 2 held on. Weaver on the last. Aikens underneath it, but pressure's coming his way, but he's done very well to take that.
You mentioned Joe Westerman, and I think he's done really well right the way through the game. And what's the bet now? Time running out, nearly 15 minutes to go, 3 scores ahead. That if they get near the sticks, they're going to go for 1 point. Cass, just watch him set up for that.
Here's Hooley. Bradford just struggling to get away from this end of the field at the moment. Milnes always adding a little bit of electricity to the situation, but ultimately thwarted. Last play. Kick out a dummy half. This is very close to the touch line. It's not really a 40-20, but it's a decent kick. Means that Castleford start from back.
It'll be a bit worried there when that ball hits the ground. It could have gone anywhere, fortunately, and goes over the sideline. Chris Atkin, the former Cas player, on now.
Same again, Phoenix.
Bradford fans trying to find their voice to our right-hand side. One of the encouraging aspects of that club as well is the return of the crowds. They've had some decent crowds, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Home and away so far this season. Forward again. Looks to deliver. Senior, the fullback, joining in with a heavy duty down the middle. Messi with another lovely dummy and gliding his way through. Some speedsters coming his way to lend support. They've overrun it, but it's out now to Forber, and Forber's lost the ball, and the referee is going to stop
First one
it.
is by Castleford by Tom Forber, and then Bradford.
2 knock-ons, that's why.
Castleford.
Papalangi, well, when that break was made by Assi, look at him. Again, he just sits the defenders back on the heels. Papalangi, look, he's pushing up as hard as he can. Jason Garigari just couldn't quite get the ball on the edge, and Forber, well, looks to play, loses the ball.
Here we go. We've got a captain's challenge here.
Castleford are challenging the decision of a double knock-on. First one, Castleford.
Are they saying Bradford didn't knock on? Anyway, captain's challenge. Let's see what the video referee makes of all this.
We're having a look. Knock on Castleford first.
OK, we have a captain's challenge. Castleford are challenging the ruling of a double knock-on. Just watch this here. So that's a Castleford knock-on. Then into Lewis, who then also knocks on. And the referee then stops play. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, I think Fulmer was trying to claim that that was thrown backwards and it was a Bradford knock-on, wasn't it? That was a challenge, but obviously not seen that way by either the man in the middle or the man in the box. So it's back to where it was.
A good defence over the top, wasn't it, from Chris Atkin, who forces that error, forces forward into losing that ball. And again, you know what's going to come here, don't you? Bradford setting up the shape as though they're going to shift the ball. Cass have got to match that with their defensive line.
Well, it's interesting that as Bradford bring it here with Wonder, but we can actually overhear Ryan Carr. We just caught, and he was insisting that his defensive line got wider because he knew that Bradford were going to go wide right from the start there. And they've got a penalty as well here, the Bulls.
Well, some teams like to be aggressive in defence, don't they? And teams don't normally throw the ball across the line. But this Bradford side will, and they recognise that danger and threat.
There's Steinwade with a carry, and Bradford again find themselves inside the Cass half. It's not yet a done deal. Still 12 minutes to go, but remember, Bradford have to score 3 times. Nikorima and Akins. Still plays in the bag, still opportunities to be made or taken. This is Blake, and he's done well, and Bradford keep it alive, and Mellor wriggles out of another tackle. It's taken on by Masters. Masters unloads it. Nikorima tries to duck underneath the challenge. Can't get away from Papalangi. Mellor picks up and scampers, and the kick is on, and it's Lewis who's chasing, but it's Sini who gets there first.
Liam, can you check the restart, please? Live decision, goal line drop out.
Not taking any chances at all. He just gets that ball over the dead ball line. There's a bit of a problem with George Hurst there, just getting some treatment from the physio. He went down, he made contact with a Bradford player.
Keep it clean down here, right? I will let us keep waiting 6 against.
For some distance again here, Tom Weaver.
Stay on!
Looking to make it as awkward as possible here for Bradford. Cass don't have to be clever here, don't have to be smart, they can just go through the basics. It's Bradford who've got to create things. Atkin out of dummy half, and Mellor. And this is Steinwade, and here comes Wonga Blake, and Blake with support that he doesn't need. He'll score the try for himself. And it's taken a while, but they do have back-to-back tries, and they do creep a little closer here.
Yeah, absolutely, that's the belief that they need. Just the points on the board. Wonga Blake comes up with it. Just a bit of pressure from Bradford. Kurt Haggerty's men. And it's a nice little play, just thread that ball through. Weaver just couldn't bring down the Bradford player, in that gets a nice offload away, doesn't he? Joe Mellor again at the line, and Rowan Mills and Wonga Blake. He just shows the ball to the wing, steps up back on the inside. Zach Sini goes for it. Nice offload from Phoenix Steinwade. And there you go. There's a bit of life.
Not confirmed yet, by the way. The video ref's just having a look. And in fact, the video referee wants a closer look at this. So let's hear what the video referee has seen here. think we're looking at obstruction here, aren't we? Let's see if we can make contact with the video referee. Well, they're looking at potential obstruction in the background there. Terry, what do you reckon?
Well, it was on Brock Greason, who's in the middle of the field, the number 14.
Just help me with the how
Far enough
far
away
out,
from
please.
the action.
They're going to rule the try out,
Just help me when I'm up there.
which is going to be disclosed to those in here in just a moment. Bradford thought they had a route back, but this will tell you that has been blocked. Roadblocks on, diversion required. Castleford still in the driving seat. It is Wonga Blake's effort that is ruled out.
You know, it's a bit of a tough call, that, because he doesn't have any effect on what happens then. And you can see he's near enough to stop him, Wonga Blake. Kurt Haggerty will be disappointed that one wasn't given.
Well, with about 11 minutes to play, that would have made life very interesting, wouldn't it?
Game on without a shadow of a doubt.
2 scores is nothing when momentum switches, as it might have done.
We're talking about Cast. They scored in 3 tries either side of half-time.
Castleford have a chance now to strengthen their position. Put this beyond any doubt. Forber. Westerman just dropping it off, and a big surge forward again by Lawler. 4 to the left, the rest to the right, but it's to the left they go. Assey leads the way, puts a lovely kick in as well. There's bodies colliding. The referee says nothing wrong with that, and Bradford come up with the ball.
It's the right part of the field, isn't it, for them, trapping him in the corner, getting off the line with some line speed. I mentioned Joe Westerman's name yet again in this game. Missed him last week.
Again, it's width they're looking for, and it's wonderful from Blake, and here inside is Nicarima. But McIntosh recovers his and his team's poise with a tackle. Milnes taking a difficult ball, realising that defenders were up and had to take the punishment for himself. Mellor. Atkin. That's his very recent teammates. Aiken. And with a chase. Oh, the bounce is in Castleford's favour. And Gary comes up with a ball.
They've had a couple of times the ball's hit the ground and it's bounced favourably for them. That one and the one when it went into touch 5 minutes ago. And a couple of things that have gone in their favour in this game.
Happy with this passage of play, Cass, at the moment. Happy to go through the very basic idea of carrying the ball up, running the clock down. Weaver, this is Lane. Forward again, last play. Weaver. Pressure being applied by McIntosh here with a big leap and a knock back, but straight into the hands of Wonga Blake, and he's looking to start things happening again.
The forwards have been a lot better in this game for Cass. Aiken's just looking again for that space on the edge, maybe that they can exploit. Devon Aft done a really good job on him. Easton Masters.
Good battle between those two, hasn't it? There's Sutton coming onto a flat ball. Atkin. Mellor inside, but Cass are waiting in numbers. There's no give there. Sutton again, and Nicarima. They're running out of place. They're running out of time. But they're keeping it going. Sutton, still Sutton, and then passes to the wrong man. Gives it back to Forber, and Castleford will feel they've got the job done now.
Yeah, well, nothing to lose then, have they, but trying to keep the ball alive. Desperate for scoring some points. Again, just the attitude from Cass to defend in this game and keep on turning up for the mates when things are going against them.
Cynic. Here's Westerman. Weaver. Greason to play. Another set of 6. Oh, that's a costly mistake potentially, because Castleford can just set themselves once again here and go for the kill. And it wastes time as much as anything. Westerman again. This is Forber. It's Weaver. Away from Mellor, still on his feet, but then a big effort coming in. Rowan putting him down in no uncertain terms. Lawler. He was a man who started things off in this second half, wasn't he, with that big, long, stretched arm of his that claimed a try in the 42nd minute. And now Castleford find themselves poised again, but they rushed up in numbers, did Bradford, but a forced effort to try and keep it alive from Masters has handed Castleford the ball back again. That's surely offside.
Yeah, penalty.
Surely offside.
Yeah, they'll take the 2 here, won't they? Absolutely, they'll take the 2.
No, mate,
Desperate.
Well, Bradford don't have a challenge, but they're insisting the referee should have a look at this.
Let's go back there.
Yeah, he's not going to have a look after he's made the decision, is he?
Well, this is the moment.
Time off. Just look at those actions of Nicarima there.
Well, he can't claim he was...
The actions of Nicarima to deliberately break down play here.
Oh, they do have a challenge left. My apologies. They do have a challenge.
So there. I can't hear the video ref at all.
And they
here,
are
guys.
going to challenge this.
Just, yeah.
I think he's looking at Nicarima,
No, mate, no.
like his actions.
Just looking at the actions of
kicking the ball.
Nicarima in the ruck there. On the ruck. Back here.
Have we got a challenge?
Right. Captain out here. Yeah. As I said, we can't challenge it because it was a play the before, and then he's in the ruck, which is a penalty. Okay.
We couldn't challenge it
because the ball's been played, he went backwards, so it was play on. Penalty there.
There we go. There we go. Can't challenge it apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Saying because the ball was played backwards, you can't challenge it. You can see he made a clear attempt.
Go.
Anyway,
So it's the right call anyway.
on we go. On we go. Castleford back in a commanding position. Lawler right into the guts of things. That's in a reach by Weaver, and Weaver onto Lane, and Lane just looked to tickle that ball away, but too many Bradford numbers there.
All he had to
Dragged him out of play.
All he had to do was tap that ball on then, wasn't it? He just looked. He gives the ball out here to McIntosh, and surely he's got a chance of getting in the corner. Look there, needed to give it there. It interested Ethan Ryan. He was looking at him and might have been just a step off.
Sutton with the carry. Bradford surely know they're beaten now. 4.5 minutes to go. 3 scores the difference. And Castleford are going to claim a second successive home win. As we said, they haven't done that since April 2024, so it's very nearly 2 years. They went through the whole of last year and very much most of the year before without stringing together successive home wins. So this is a bit of a landmark here for them tonight. Mark in the sand for their new coach. And Bradford are making mistakes, making the job a lot easier for the Tigers.
They're making some errors now, aren't they? That's what the scoreboard does to you at times, isn't it? Norman Royd thinking that he'd got through the line, the ball wasn't going to come. He thought he was going to go out the back to Jaden Nicarima. He'd overrun it, and then a reaction from Ryan Carr. Well, says it all, doesn't it?
Why is he looking so frustrated at that? Is he mistaken the Bradford team as his own?
He's still probably thinking of last week, to be fair.
I suspect he's not after tonight, Terry. Because this is a very, very different Castleford that we're watching.
very similar to what we saw in round 1 against Wigan, where they actually are backing themselves.
Here's Forber. This is Weaver. Westerman. They'd love another. They'd love another. And they're getting very close to getting another here, but just a shot from Nicarina helps swing that ball clear.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't on. Soon as that ball was passed, there was one cast man and 2 defenders then at the line. Too difficult.
Masters here. There's about 7 players laid hand on him and no one could stop him. He wasn't making much progress, but he has kept it alive, and here's Blake. Steinwade.
Just trying to slow this down as much as they can, getting numbers in. Don't bother if they give away a couple of penalties.
Up there goes Atkin, and Bradford looking to move it on that right-hand side with Nicarima, and skidding into trouble. Be a penalty.
Jackson! No.
Seen some penalties tonight, haven't we? I think that's the 19th penalty of the night. Atkin. Nicarima went for the short one, trying to get Rowan bouncing through, and I think they're going to claim that through Eason Masters, and the referee will confirm that mooted celebration. He started things off, Easton Masters. He might well be the last try scorer of the game, but my goodness, there's a lot happened between those two.
Yeah, definitely. Leon Ruben with a nice little break, wasn't it? Gets his hands free, give the ball to Eason Masters. Look, the touch forward, but they get the points. Doesn't affect the scoreline, does it? And Eason Masters, like we said, scored a couple of tries, but it's been kept pretty quiet in this game.
Try confirm in the background, so Hooley with a chance to add the 2 to narrow the gap here. That's all it does. Time ticking into the final minute of the game. Hooley knows there's no rush, really. Concentrate on job in hand, which he has completed successfully. 40 points to 28.
There won't be any rush to start this game, will they? Nice little play from Leon Ruin, like I said. I had my doubts that it could have been forward, though.
A shake of the head from Eason Masters, and a familiar look from Kurt Haggerty. It'll be their biggest defeat of the season. It looked as though it could have been worse at times. They've kept the gap to 12 points.
On the ball, boys!
But not a night to remember for them at Castleford. McIntosh with a start, and Bradford should finish the game with ball in hand. It's a creative attempted kick. It ricochets around. Referee says penalty for offside in Bradford's favour.
He's offside, boys. He's active and involved. Hang on.
He thought that he was in again, didn't he? When he poaches that ball. Another set of 6 here that they've got to contend with, but time running out. Probably 2 players they've got. Bradford.
So this will be the last play of the game. As Milnes takes it in, the countdown is on for the Castleford fans who've enjoyed what they've seen tonight. And Cini, somewhat fittingly, the fullback, has had to cover that awkward position for his side, and has done it well and catches it well. And it looked like it could have been another of those nights tonight for Castleford when they conceded in that opening 2 minutes. But a hat-trick from Jason Gary before the half-time bell had sounded put them back in the driving seat. Darnell McIntosh claims a brace as well. And it's a cause for thought for the Bradford coach, Kurt Haggerty. But a back-to-back home win for Castleford. Well, what a way to respond to that hammering they got last week.